Yes, coach. So just to complete, I was saying that so the members, we had our AGM last week. So what is happening is that we have annual elections, but for the chairperson and deputy chairperson, those positions get to be looked at every 3 years. So the members returned me unopposed as the chairperson, giving me another mandate to build on what we're trying to achieve. I have a new deputy chairperson, Ms. Mpoma Boy. She's been with us also for some time now, but she got a good support from the members to get that position. Mazola Mlifi, he was previously the Treasurer General. He's now the Secretary General. He's been the driving force in the past few years, Mazola. We also have Miss Lungile Matsuma. She's the Treasurer General, but also she's the first and the only employee so far of Safja. She's the administrator of Safja as well. We also have Miss Mpumi Manyisi. She's the membership officer, also a new member in our executive. And we have Miss Letabo Khanyaho. She's the LGBTQI and women's officer as well. She's been with us since inception in 2020. And we have our two content officers. One of them now is Lorenz, and also Mr. Maumane Rapala from Far Post. And we have our three provincial reps, Suzo Mbebe, they call him Mdlali in Cape Town. Western Cape, we have Mr. Ofani Munyai from Limpopo. And we then have Esnet Tembastole, he's our young up-and-coming KZN rep in the KZN that is. So that is our new exco coach, and we are moving. We're trying to do big things, and with the support of our members, we shall be there. Thank you.
Congratulations, and wish all the new members the best. And I can see that you are addressing the QGBI story. So lots of females coming in. So President, you're up to speed. You're doing the right thing. Well done.
Thank you, coach. Thank you, coach.
Yes,
yeah. You can take over, Lawrence.
Yes, coach. Just going back to what I was speaking about of obviously just people speaking about your health. Just want to find out if you're fine and how things have been going since returning to home, as you call it.
Yeah, thanks for asking, Lawrence. Yeah, I had a bit of situation. Of course, hospitalized for 4 days, but I'm good. I'm strong. There's a lot of things going on around. I don't know, it's a flu. I thought maybe it was corona. I don't know what happened, but my lungs were really affected. And I had to stay in the hospital for them to make sure that the bacteria or the bug in the lungs should be cleared. And then cleared, I'm good, I'm back. Thanks.
We're opening it up to questions. If anybody has questions, raise your hand. Okay, I see Osia is the first one. You can unmute yourself. Osia?
Yeah, good morning, everyone, and also to, am I unmuted?
You can hear you.
Yeah, good morning, everyone, and Coach Pitso, good to see you. It's been a while. Yeah, my question will be more generic. Just how has it been like been out of Africa, your experience in Saudi and also UAE, and yeah, just how can you sum it up? And yeah, just last question on probably your future or currently what are you doing, contemplating your next move and so on. Thank you.
Yeah, always good to be back in the continent, to be honest. Um, Much better to be home. It's better, to be honest. Home is always home. Just the challenges we just face now, we are just about to talk, and then we are cut off. Those are things that are beyond you and me, it's beyond our control. But yeah, I haven't been experiencing all these things for some time, a few years. But it's part of life. This is my country. I have to adjust. Yeah, football wise, it has been totally different. To be honest, yesterday I had a chance to watch football match, and okay, I think I watched two games already since I'm back, but not full, just watching. Um, yeah, I can see that yeah, a little bit of a difference, to be honest. Obviously, um, disappointed that there's no people at the stadium. So sad. I thought maybe it was the issue of Corona, but we are long gone from that space, and the whole world is back to football, and we haven't been back. You know, yeah, that's the difference that I see, and yeah, what else? Not that much. Not much has changed, to be honest. Um, yeah, you see that the so-called big teams are not up to scratch up till now. Maybe with the exception of Sundowns. I haven't watched them for some time also, but the results says that. Yeah, yeah, not much of a difference from home, but yeah, different football from Saudi to UAE or from Egypt, Saudi, UAE. Just totally different games, different mentality, different culture, and different visions of, of the football federations. And Asia operates a little bit different than CAF. Asia as the continental football. Yeah, more organized, more run seminars, engage us, and yeah, Asia is a little bit ahead than CAF, if I have to say that, because I've been at CAF for a long time. Unless there have been drastic changes for the last 2 years, maybe, or three.
Okay.
I don't know.
Excuse me.
I don't know if you have answered him.
Osia, are you happy with the answer?
Yeah. I think more will unravel throughout the presser. Thank you.
Okay. Njabulo, you can go. You are next. And guys, if you can, if it's possible to put on your video so coach can see who is speaking to when you ask the question, that would be great.
Thanks, Lawrence. Coach, it's Njabula Nyito from News 24. In terms of your next football journey, what is it that you're looking for, and what should people sort of bring you on board to get the contract of Pitso Mosimane?
Well, the last part, let me get the last part.
No, I was saying in terms of what is it that should people who are looking to get the contract of Pitso Mosimane look to bring in terms of to attract you?
Chabulo, I'm a professional, and yes, we all would love to choose what we want to do or where we want to go, but football doesn't work like that, because it's also important that you might have a vision of saying, I want to go there. But we must also accept and understand that there are coaches employed probably at those points, at those areas, you know, and sometimes maybe those areas that there are maybe coaches not employed or vacancies, but you need to know also what's the team like, what do they want, what do they expect out of you, and for me also what's the vision, what do they want, and then you start to say, I think, yeah, interesting. I think it's a good project, or I think, and the vision of the team also is important, you know. So it's not about sending my CVs to clubs and all that, you know. And yes, not boasting. We can get employed next week if you want, but it's not all about that. Also, I don't know. I just want to spend Christmas at home. Let me see my children. Let me have Christmas. Let me have all this. Let me have food from home. You know. And I'm going home holiday also a little bit just before Christmas. That's 8 10 days. So I just don't want to disturb that space between those 8 10 days before Christmas and Christmas. I want to see New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. Yeah, I think the best time for me to really go back to work is maybe after that space that I had seen my family, because my children are all around, schools closed, you know. So for me to move now, there must be a very big emergency. It must be worth that I must cancel the holiday of my children and spend Christmas away from home.
Okay, let's move on to Mazola. Same, avail yourself there.
Coach, technology ang double like re go bontsha video re ke tloele.
I can see you.
Yeah. No, coach, I wanted to ask, obviously you are talking about CVs now and taking a bit of a break. You were on Metro a few months ago talking about, you know, applying, and especially from a local point of view. I wanted to find out if that's still your in. Would you like to be headhunted rather than putting in your CV, or it works differently in different areas around the world, where if your intention as Pitso Mosimane is to get a job in the Gulf region or in Europe, you feel necessary for you to put in your CV, whereas in other parts of the world, because of what you've achieved and who you are, there's no need to necessarily put in a CV. Thanks.
You see, Mazola, once I decided that I'm part of an office, it's important for me to respect what the office wants, because inside the office is more than 3 people also. And also I have my people, I call them my generals, who are around me also. So if there's any movement or anything that we want to do, we have a bigger discussion. So it's not about me. I'm the head, I'm the face, I'm the leader of the program, because I'm the head coach. But I'm not the only guy who decides, I think we should go there, why we should not go there, let's not go there. I have people around who are doing the job and who are managing it. And it's not up to me. I'm talking about myself, but I should not talk on behalf of MT Sports. Because what if MT Sports decides to send the CVs to strategic places? I mean, I have to remove myself from there. Me as myself, I would not, you know. But if they want to do that on our behalf, yes, they can. And to be honest, there are interests even now, and probably different space that you and me could ever think of. And Asia meaning not the Gulf, Asia being Asia. meaning east. So there have been interest a little bit or talk, and there have been an interesting one also from North America, So and why not? Why not go to to North America? Why not go east? East, I mean Japan, China, those places, Because also for us, Mazola is also is our legacy, you know. So you, if you can get same, what can I say, a project that's interesting in the Gulf, I'm just making an example, and a similar project in Asia, probably I'll go to Asia just to go see. I mean, when I'm saying Asia, I know Gulf is Asia, but I'm talking East now. Why not? And there's been also an interest, not an interest, just a conversation in Europe somewhere. Maybe this will break the ice. I don't know. But yeah, and I mean East Europe a little bit, not the ones that we all talk about, France, England, Italy, and all that. No, no, those ones. A little bit East. So yeah, and probably there might be interest back at home, and also maybe national teams would be nice also. That depends which one. It depends on the region also. Remember, and it's Cup of Nations in January, so maybe short term, not maybe too early for that. But maybe after January, which is the World Cup qualifiers keep going on. So yeah, maybe that can also interest me, but it has to be the right thing. And but on that one, with national teams, I'm back. I don't have a problem to be back in the continent. But club-wise in the continent, it's not going to be that easy. Yeah, I think I've probably answered you, Mazola.
Yes, you have, coach.
Okay.
Yeah, you have, yeah. Nick, I think you can go ahead because Lorenz, you're muted there.
Oh, sorry, Nick. You next.
Great. Hi, Coach. Thanks very much for this opportunity to chat to you. It's always a fascinating endeavor. I just, as someone who I know is very passionate about the Champions League, and you've, kind of really made your reputation in that competition, I just wonder what your thoughts are around the African Football League, and whether once it is expanded, as it seems it is going to be, does that become a threat then to the Champions League, almost in a way diminishing that competition by having this this new sort of big, bright, glitzy tournament that's on the go? Does the football calendar allow, do you think, or the football space allow for both of them to exist and both of them to thrive?
No, but I don't think we should talk about that's a tournament. That's a tournament. That's not CAF. If you're talking about the tournament that Sundowns won, that's not CAF. There's a tournament where you handpick. I don't know how many teams are there. 8 maybe. 8 out of 54 countries. So that's a tournament. I don't know. Well, I think for me, the only thing that I really like about this tournament is the financials behind it. Empowering clubs, clubs getting more money. But that's it. That's about it. How you come in there to be invited, I don't know, because I tried to check if is it points based on CAF, and I just think there are other countries like Raja Casablanca. I'm just making an example. There are a lot of clubs who have more points, if it's about points that allows you to be in the tournament. I mean, Paris has been there all the time with points, same as coaches, was just in the Champions League with us in the final now. And I don't know if Simba has got more points than the Pirates in CAF points, if it is CAF points. But I don't want to talk about the tournament. I like the tournament because it's rich, it's got a lot of money, you know. But I don't know. I can't tell. You must tell me about if it's a threat or not. Financially, it's probably that's when that's the only thing. But the other ones is it's just a tournament where everybody picks the teams that he likes or she likes. You know, I mean, Roger, you've been to Roger. They feel the stadium is a big club. Roger Casablanca. I'm just using that as an example. Or Zamalek. I wouldn't know have Zamalek. It's a big club. Unless you don't know CAF Champions League. So, you know, so, and if you put Simba, what about Yanga? You know, it's another story also. But anyway, I don't want to go more into that. I'm talking about, but good for money. But it's just a tournament.
Nick,
Thank you.
you want to follow
Yeah.
up? You all good?
I'm all good. Thank you.
Okay, next, Mark Stradon.
Sorry, hi, Coach. Yeah, always good to see you as well. And Safja, thank you so much for organizing. It's brilliant. And thanks, Coach, for making time. Yes, I just wanted to ask, Al Wahda was your shortest stay at a club, just 4 months. It's by far the shortest. I don't think you've ever not finished a season. It was also possibly it was hard for us to get news from you there for some reason, as much as your other clubs you've worked with outside of South Africa. So, just wondering what happened exactly with Al Wahda. I know you always screen where you're going next very well in terms of your choices of which club to pick. Was it not the right fit? It was a surprise when the results weren't so bad as I understand. It was 4 wins from 7 in the league at the time. You were finding your feet, and also when they made the announcement, it came as a bit of a surprise. They seemed to have a coach lined up because when they made the announcement, there was another coach announced as the new coach. Can you just give us an idea of what happened at Al Wahda? Was it not the right fit? That's it.
Yeah, nice seeing you, Mark. Good to see you again. I must say that the vision, as I always say, the project was good because it's a team that hasn't won the league for 13 years, and that has been a challenge, and that's what directs me to that place. You know what I'm trying to say? To say, oh, there's an opportunity to win a league here. This team it's a big team that hasn't won the league in 13 years. So we were all aligned in that vision. So that's what made me to go there. I mean, the big team in Abu Dhabi. Okay, there are other big teams in the UAE, of course. But that was something that we are looking forward to work up to. But yeah, you're right. I think inside the vision of all saying that we need to win a trophy, we need to win the league, maybe. There are principles and alignment that as much as you see the vision, there must be short-term, mid-term, and long-term plans, and there must be a way. We have to be aligned in knowing the short-term and the mid-term plans. That within that space, we should be able to say yes. Doesn't mean when you make a plan, it's going to be achievable quickly, and there's no plan you make and then it free flows. Of course, it will always have headers anywhere on everything, even wherever you win the tournament or whatever, there are headers. But yeah, once we are inside the same vision and whatever, I think there was a little bit of a lack of alignment from what I think and from what the team wants and what the team has been doing for the last 13 years when they haven't won the league. And yeah, if I realized that we were not going in the right direction in those places, not on the vision, and it's not if the coach is right or not or wrong, because before we agreed, we all sat down, you know, and I said, and asked, oh, you fire me for winning, or am I leaving you for winning? So we don't have a good answer, both of us, to can say to the people. So, but really, to be honest, obviously it's not about results because we've been winning. We won the last 2 games in a row, and the team that they played yesterday, I think they won 4-0, is the team I beat 8-0. So, I mean, you don't need to be too clever to understand what was going to happen in that match. Even if I was still sick, Mahia taking over, Mahia Davids, he would have won that match. Yeah. So when we're not aligned with how we execute things, yeah, I think the right way. It's just to be aligned on how we execute within the vision. We were a little bit going parallel to each other, and I think was the best thing as early as the games. I think it was the 6th game or something like that. 6th game. I think it's better that we all don't waste each other's time, and we are going to part to say, look, you want to drive the vision by doing 1, 2, 3. We as a team, we want it 1, 2, 3. So I said, look, I have to stay with what I know. I have to always stay on my principles of the trophies that we have achieved. I mean, we just won the league last time. So we want those principles to be put to help us, because we have been successful for the last maybe 7, 8 years, and then we've been winning trophies. So, and they have not been winning anything for 13 years. So I think it should be going this way. I think we like each other. We are happy with each other. We have no problem about each other work and winning and that. But when we differ in terms of how I should do the work, and they look at it differently, I think the best thing was to do for both sides is to part ways, and was the best thing for the team, and was good for me. Come out as early as possible. I think, yeah, I think I've answered the mark.
Sorry, guys. I just wanted to ask, can we just pause for 2 seconds? I'm just going to put Coach's earphones so that there's no echo. So if you can just give us 2 seconds to just change the sound so that it's easier to hear him.
Thank you.
Yeah, much better or not?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm good. Thanks, Larry. Yeah? No, I'm good. Thanks.
Okay, Coach, the question, can you hear me?
Yeah.
There's a question here in the chat. Paul would like to know, would you be keen on a position again with the local football, or have you been lost to the local football community completely?
As I said, as I answered, it's not about me alone. I've been the team that I have, besides Maya and Kyle, these guys have been working with me for 10, 11 years. You must understand, when people have taken a decision to go with you for that long, and you cannot just take the decision by yourself alone, because this is my A team. This is with this team I function. You know, I don't have to tell who is doing match analysis, who check the opposition, who's checking the matches that we have played. You know, the word that I always like to use from long time, corrections. You know, so who's doing the corrections? What's the vision of the training towards this week in relation to the strength and the weakness of the opponents? So I have a full team that, and also in terms of where we were playing, how many days back we played, in terms of periodization and making sure that we don't overload the team, we keep the team fresh, which is Cabello's.
Okay, coach.
Are you back? Am I back?
Yes, you're back.
Yeah, I hope there's no echo also. So they changed the head. This AirPods, I touched it, and when you touch it,
It switches over.
disconnects.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah. So I don't know if I've answered. Did I answer? Did I finish the answer?
Yeah,
Or
you
what?
you've answered, and that actually leads me to a question from the public. Just give me a second. They basically
Just to clarify this, Lawrence,
yeah,
we are professionals, and I'm led by people. So if the people says it is home, well, we tick boxes. There are a few boxes that needs to be ticked. Then it's home. There's no emotion here.
yeah. So, but this leads me to a question from the public, which it delves more into that. They asked, "Are you willing to compromise your technical team, or is it all or nothing? Basically, do you only work with this team around you?"
It's not about you only work with this team around you. You must know that the team I've invested a lot in them, and they have also invested a lot in me. We're a team. This is the team that every year within the year they update, they do their courses. I mean, the analysts now are coaches. We no longer call them analysts. I call them assistant coaches because they've got the UEFA a B license. So within the structure, I compromise. I allow them to go to Europe and Scotland. Musi now was in Scotland to finish his course, you know. And Mahia, I'm trying to get him to Asia Pro license because I run courses in Emirates, Emirates Pro license, which is done by Asia. It's like South Africa is organizing pro license for their coaches under the auspices of CAF. So I coach the coaches, pro license coaches, in Emirates. And my goalkeeper coach is a goalkeeper coach for Asia. He trained the goalkeepers in Asia. The goalkeeper that we just roped in, I moved with him from Saudi, and he came with me, he joined us. So sometimes he has to go to run courses for Asia for goalkeepers. So if you say to me, I have to change that expertise, that knowledge, people who run with the latest modern trends of the game, it's very difficult. I have people who come to me and say, "Hey, did you see this free kick? Hey, did you see how Arsenal defended in the last 30 minutes?" And not how they played, how they defended in the last 30 minutes when results were like this. So it's very difficult for me to change that because now I must appoint somebody because he's been assistant in the club for that long. So stay with him. And what's the analyst going to give me? Because you know how we live. We don't sleep. We are monsters. You know? So the guy must tell me, "Oh, coach, I've got a bride. I've got my this. I've got that." We pack bags, we go. You know? And there's a daughter's birthday day. You know what I'm trying to say? It's another level. It's like Navy SEALs. We are ready when when the alarm goes, it's like firefighters. When the alarm goes, we go. So do we have people in our team who can do that and compromise? What if we go to a place where we have never been, where it's very cold, or Israel? Are you willing to come? And we have a family, you know. So how are you taking your family with, or are you leaving them behind? It's a tough thing. And for local, mentality here is a little bit different. People want to work 2 hours and drive home. No, I don't belong in that space. That's setting up yourself for failure. You know what I'm trying to say? So we need one vision, one common vision. I'm not saying that we cannot find people like that in environments, but I rather bring what I have, what I know, and work with what I know. So that's what I believe in. And by the way, we keep putting people in. Mahia has just joined us, and the goalkeeper coach just joined us. And somewhere, somehow, if we think you are not really fitting or in the group, it's a bit difficult. We have to let you go sometimes. And being a nice guy and a top guy, but we have won so many trophies, and we know how to win them and what we need to do. And we have lost many games, and we know our mistakes that has happened, and we know how to prepare to play against Barcelona, which we played here when we had Sundowns. We played them in 3 days' time after we played the league game. What do you prepare? How do you prepare? How do you prepare for Barcelona in 3 days' time? And the day before we trained Barcelona, it rained like nothing. So we didn't train. So we really trained one day. We are regenerating, and we had one day to train against Barca. So if your team is not up to speed, you have a problem. We're playing Bayern. There's Lewandowski, there's Kimmich, really, we're talking serious stuff. And you have 4 days to prepare and brief the team of how Bayern plays. We play Palmeiras. They've changed the team completely. They're monsters. But now, you understand what I'm trying to say. So I have people who tell me about Palmeiras. What is Palmeiras? What do they do? Who they do? So when I have new people, what are you going to learn about Palmeiras and all that? Oh, guys, we're talking serious stuff here. We're competing with Asia, we're competing with Africa, we're competing with South America, we're competing with Europe. So, sorry, Lawrence, it's not about what we see every day for top 8. And we're playing against Japanese team, we're playing against Saudi Arabian team, Al Hilal, which we all know what is Hilal at this point in time. So, and we have to beat them, by the way. We have to beat them. We have to beat them. So you have to have the serious stuff. And to have that stuff it's also a problem because they're not easy to come, eh?
Definitely, coach. Just to add to that, the AFL is gonna be increased into 22 teams. It's not gonna remain the top 8 as you referred it to. Next season will be 20.
Which one? Which is AFL?
African Football League. It's gonna be 22 teams. It's not top 8 next season. But anyway.
Well, whatever it is, I'm telling you about what we have at the moment. You're telling me about the future. You're asking me about the current status. I was answering the current status. Next year, I will answer the future. And hopefully Pirates and Chiefs and Raja, they have to be there. You can't have seen by the Chiefs or Pirates that just won the Champions League. Excuse me. Well, don't play with me in terms of that space of football. No, please, don't mess around.
You're forgetting about the mighty Nimba. But Kamo, you up next.
Well, they haven't been there for some time. Mighty Nimba have not played Champions League for 20 years. Okay, so be very careful, Lorenzo, when you talk to me.
Good evening, colleagues, and good evening. What am I saying? Good evening. Good morning. Good morning, colleagues. Good morning to the coach as well. Coach, I just want to ask a question. Right here in our local League, we've seen a trend of co-coaches, and now we're also seeing a trend, or I mean, speaking of dream teams, we're also seeing a trend of coaches wanting to be employed with their own wanting to be employed with their own technical team. Is that where the trend is going now, where coaches are being employed with their technical team, wanting to work with their own team as opposed to an appointed team by the club?
Look, this thing of teams, I don't know. Okay, I think 4 years back, I traveled to Egypt and I traveled with my people because the space at the highest level where where we go, you don't ask to bring your team. It's a given that you bring your team. And the guys, the head coaches, technical team that was there, when it leaves with its own team. So it's not fashion. It's what is happening. It's the world. It's like that. So, I mean, Jose Mourinho has done it for years with Rui, who was traveling with him, saying it's a given that you have your own people that you travel with at that level. Back home, the coach is employed. You know what I'm trying to say? You come alone, like the way I came to Sundowns. So when I came here, I came alone. So, but the more is expected from you to deliver, and the higher the level, yes, you have to have your own team. But as I said, there's a reason to have your own team. You can't just say, I'm bringing my own team because you're bringing buddies around and then you're going around to bring friends around. You have to have a reason why you want to have your own team. You know, and you have to show also that this team was it successful and where was it successful. So it's not about, I don't know. That's my opinion. Whether it's fashion or now in South Africa, I don't know. But at the top, you're employed as one team, one group, and when you are fired, you're all fired. And when we leave, we all leave. So as I say, it's the Navy SEALs. You can't leave other soldiers injured and then you travel. No, you don't do that.
Thank you. David Capel, you next. Just unmute and avail yourself to video.
Good morning, Coach. Good morning, colleagues.
David.
Thank you for your time.
Finally, I put the name to the face to the name.
Yeah, it's nice to see you, Coach. Nice to see you
also, David.
in good
Nice
spirits. Speaking about your technical team, we know Cabello, Musi, Carl, who have been with you for quite a while. You've mentioned the goalkeeper coach that joined you last season, and obviously Mahia Davids. Now, I wanted to ask about Mahia because we haven't had a chance really to speak to you since he's joined you. You know, like what were the reasons? You know, why you teamed up with him? How does he complement you? You know, what are his strengths and so on? If you can just give a bit of insight on him in particular. Thank you, Coach.
Yeah, I remember we initially the coach next to me with the plan when we moved from South Africa was Rolani, and I'm happy spoke to you about it, you guys about it, was Rolani. Now it's mine. Unbelievable coach. I think underestimated. Yes, for the level at which I work, where I move is in the right space as an assistant coach. Because in the Gulf region, you don't coach when you don't have a pro license. You must all have pro license. And you know which confederation is favored more than the other one. So the UEFA of pro license. Okay. So to be honest, I'm the first coach to bring Africa pro license into the Gulf and Middle East. Yeah, thanks to CAF for arranging that. Imagine all our colleagues It's going to take them some time until we do that stuff for them to get there. It's not how good you are. You can be very good as a coach. They don't care about it. It's not how intelligent or how you sound good or how you choose your words on interviews. What have you on? And you can't just say, "Oh, I want this trophy." You know, it's a lot of it's a business. It's a lot of money spent. The investments is not 10 million rand per year or whatever. It's big time. So they tend to go with the tried and tested more than the younger ones, more than the up and coming ones. So they tend to go with that. So yeah, to be part of that space is more about repetition. But how's your reputation? You build your reputation by winning. I guess people like Gavin Hunt have won 4 trophies in the PSL, have been to the final of many trophies and whatever. When he has a pro license, he's more likely to get the job than any other smart coach that we think we have at the moment in that space, because his reputation. Who are you? And how long have you done it? So it doesn't mean that the younger ones cannot go in. They will go in, but you find words. Or you have played football at the highest level somewhere. If you go to Serie A, they put the people who play football in Serie A. You can see Inzaghi's and then they're coming back and all that. Where are you going to get the chance to be in the Serie A? I heard Inzaghi scored 100 goals in the Champions League. Reputation. And we can talk about why this one, not this one. Same story in the English Premier League. Frank Lampard and Wayne Rooney's, and then they will always get a gig before anybody because they've done it also at the highest level. And when they have their licenses, they will be given preferences more than the other people. But you can see that the coach of Crystal Palace, they drag him from pension and bring him back to take over Christian Vieira's position. What is that? It's not that the coach of Crystal Palace has won so many things in the last 10, 15 years. No. They just want the experience, they want it. And those guys, they surround themselves with top technical members. And that's what Ancelotti does. Who remembers if Ancelotti was at Everton now and he didn't want to go back? It's what who went to win 2 Champions League trophies. Jose Mourinho, really, he can go in, he can walk to something tomorrow. Because it's Mourinho, because it's what he has achieved. It's not about, we have that nice coach now coming up showing us diagrams and smart Alex. At the highest level, it's not all about it.
Thank you, Coach.
Welcome.
Dave, you happy with the answer?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Content Officer.
Okay, Mtoko Sizi, you up next, far post.
Greetings, Coach, and greetings, colleagues. Coach, I'm just curious, Coach, in terms of the projects that you take or consider, what factors influence your decision making? And could you please elaborate in terms of the boxes a project must tick for you to be able to take it?
You miss the press conferences that I've been doing all the time, but it's okay. I will go back to speak about this. There must be a common vision, and there must be when you set up a vision, you set up a vision and you have targets, because you can't open a restaurant at the corner there, and then you're saying that I have 200 tables in there, and by next week Friday I want all the 200 tables to be filled up at dinner. Who knows your menu? You don't have a reputation. Who knows? And do you have a chef? And what kind of chef you have? And what are your prices? You know, so you build that reputation over time, and it's word of mouth. And now there's the apps that grade the restaurants. Whenever I travel in a different country, I go there, I check which are the most graded 2023 top restaurants at the moment. So I check that. Then I know, okay, I want to go Asian food. Then I will check which Asian food is the right one there. So you can't expect to build a media house in one day or a restaurant in one day. So same in football. You can't just say, oh, by the way, now we have appointed this coach. So next week you are winning. Oh, what if next week we draw? After we win 2 times and then we draw and then we lose. Then you start saying, we thought this thing is coming back. Now what happened? This thing is not the real thing because you are results based. You don't have a vision. You don't have a plan. And Man United, Arsenal, Newcastle, Milan, Inter Milan, Juve. You don't have to look far. How long did it take them to turn around and to come back? You know, Mazzola loves Chelsea. Ask him why they don't win it now. Why they don't win the league this year? It takes time. It takes. Suddenly there's a new team in Chelsea. Okay, looks nice, looks good now, but is it? But at the end of the year, we need to say, is it better than the Chelsea of Mourinho? Or you want that Chelsea of Mourinho? Do you have the players? Do you have Mourinho? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So it's. You see, the problem is we don't look at football world. Look at the football world. There's no any other examples than those ones. Look at the world. Why Inter Milan is not the same as it was? Why AC Milan is never the same? What happened to Juve ever since the Ronaldos and then have left Juve? It's not the same. With Pirlo gone and all, it's not the same. So, what's your vision? What do you want as a team? And how do you think, when do you want to turn it around? You want to turn it around by pleasing the supporters. Now we have this coach now we have this coach, and the vibe starts, and the coach starts to draw or lose. It's not the same coach. Now what? So, and you can't use the coach to quieten supporters. You have to know what you want as a team and tell the people, this is our plan. When is Man United going to win the league? This year? You know, they're the most spending club. You know how much salaries Man United pay? So now they're not serious. They don't want to win. Everybody says the coach is good when he came on. Now suddenly some results. Oh, I don't think the coach is very good on Man United. I'm happy they didn't sack him. I'm happy they kept him. You watch All or Nothing. This big series on is Netflix or what? All or Nothing. I don't know where it is. I think it's on Amazon or whatever. You watch All or Nothing. Arteta would have never survived in many countries. He lost 4 games in a row. What does that mean? 4 games in a row? First, in the Gulf, you're out. Okay? South Africa, you're out. You know yourself. Okay? But look at where Arsenal is today, top of the log. Last year, they came second. Do you give Arteta a chance? Do you have the plan? Or you are results based per week, every week, what and people complain and everybody says whatever. People always say their opinion. Supporters love their clubs. They will say what they want. And it's breaking rights and all that. So they will complain and criticize. It's normal. It's part of the game. But you can't worry about external noise. External noise will always be there. Internal noise, which is the players and the management and the board, has to have quietness. When the dressing room is quiet, when that space between the management and that is quiet, is good. The owner of the son of the owner of Arsenal, is it Kroenke or what? Kroenke family or whatever. He was sitting with Arteta, and Arteta was just casually talking to him. Football it is. And Unfortunately, we'll correct it. The guy says, no, we're good. We're good. We have a long vision. We have a long plan. And look where they are. So you need to study what you want and how far do you want it. You know what I'm trying to say? The Roma, they start to talk and say this about Mourinho. Well, he won them the Europa Cup. They haven't won it for so how many years? He took them to the final again. Now, few results are coming out. The external noise will be coming. This and that. No, internal, quiet. No problem. So that's one of those are the things we have to discuss and talk. Because we're going to draw and lose, and maybe lose 2 times and draw. So what happens now in that space? We're no longer good. So that's all about. Those are the boxes that need to be ticked in the meeting. And by the way, we have to buy players. Tell me any team that has been successful without buying players. Which one? Even Ajax Amsterdam that works on a lot of young players. They buy Benny McCarthy for a lot of money. They buy Steven Pienaar for a record fee in South Africa. And I think we know the figures at that time. They buy the best players. They buy the best young players. They buy Luis Suarez. Are you serious? They buy Ibrahimovic. The Arsenal, the Ajax Amsterdam that we say is strong in the youth. They bought those players. So you must say who you are. And you want to work through the youth, you must be strong on youth programs and recruitment. So any top young player who's 15, 14, you have to buy him before another team buys him. So there's a 15-year-old who is very good, and then somebody wants him. And you don't want to pay 1 million rand for that player because he's 15 years, because you're saying he's 15. Okay, don't buy. Real Madrid will buy Vinicius Juniors at 17 and 18 and Rodrigo. They are running the team now with the young players. So what do you want? And by the way, do you have the right structures in your youth program? You have top coaches at youth. Do they love the game? Do they love the football? This thing is complex, but you have to give it time. You can never be successful overnight. No.
Coach, we're going to try and motor through the last few questions because we've got about 20 minutes left, according to the boss there. Mobile from Cash and Sport. Up next.
Coach, good morning.
Morning.
I wanted to ask about investment in youth, about investment in youth football, and specifically as regards to, I don't know if you can hear me, Coach, I think you're squinting.
Sorry, I don't know if my headphones are out of line here. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I don't know if you can hear me.
Yeah, okay, let me see here. Let's not hear me.
No, it's fine. I'll just...
Technologically, I'm challenged. 1 second, let me see.
No, I think you are fine, Coach Pitso. It's Mobile's audio that was out of sync, but I think it's okay now.
Oh, okay. What was his question?
Coach, can you hear me?
Can you say it again or something happened?
Yes, I'll repeat. I wanted to ask about your views on investment, especially at youth level. There's been almost a confirmation now that there's funding that's been pulled out of the SS School of Excellence. There's issues in terms of, there's been reinvestment now from the Mutipa family in terms of youth championships and so on. But what is your view from what you've seen in the countries that you've been versus South Africa? What do we need to do to start, producing a much larger number of players at a youth level? Because those are the guys that need to be playing in our senior teams earlier than they are now. We have youngsters who are 23 years old. Whereas if you go to other parts of the world, players are 15. I mean, there was a 15-year-old who made his debut yesterday for, was it Milan?
Yeah, that subject now, you came to the subject that I am sorry.
I think they died.
They died? Okay.
It's fine. I'm recording on your phone. I'll send.
I'm back.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
No problem. It's fine. You can continue.
Yeah, I'm back. Yeah. 5 years back, no, 5 years ago, I've decided that when I renew my contract with Mamelodi Sundowns, I have to be given space to play the space in the space of youth football development programs. And I've started that. I think you guys check the Pitso Mosimane soccer schools. We are just only 7 months running. We have 70 coaches, 70 coaches. Sometimes I ask myself, I'm going to pay that bill at the end of the month because I have to pay 70 people. It's unbelievable. Now, this is what you call about investment. You don't come and play in that space because you want to pay lip service. You don't want to come to that place because you want to talk. You have to know what you're doing, where to do, and the return of investments, how long it's going to take you, what do you want to achieve, what do we have on offer. That's why I started that program in the schools. And hopefully, in Arabic they say inshallah. Inshallah, the one I looking and targeting, and we'll make an announcement very soon if it comes. It's going to be huge, it's going to be big if it happens. I just pray that it happens in South Africa. So because it's a revolution of football in South Africa in terms of the youth, have the best players at that level. And that's why we've started in that space. And yesterday, I'm now interested in under 17 World Cup. I'm watching the under 17 World Cup. First, I said, "Oh, okay, my country's not there." I'm not surprised we are not there because I understand why we're not there. Because I see Mali representing Africa also. I see the boys. I see the level. I see the speed. I see the body. I see the power. I see the technique. I said we don't have 15-year-old players who can play at this level. Let's be honest. We don't have. You ask me where's the team? We don't have a team. Who's coaching the team? Where's the recruitment structure? We are not there. And those boys are big. I saw Argentina beat Brazil. Unbelievable. I saw Mali strong. So I said to myself, oh, this is the next under 23 national team. Or not under 20. And you know what? All the French boys, African French boys are in Europe. So one is in Dortmund, one is in Barca, one is in Bayern, one is in those development structures. Where's ours? How are we going to compete? So this just tells you that we have a long way to go. We need to do a lot of good things, right? And that's the investment that you need to do. You guys have been to Morocco, some of you. I've been telling you about that. I've said it so many years back. Now everybody starts to realize that which team in the Champions League of the ladies will go to the final. Which team in the Champions League of CAF of the male will go to the semi-final or final or maybe win it. Which team in the national team will go to the World Cup last 4 or last 8? Because I've been in that space for the last 4 or 5 years, and I've learned from them, and I see what they have. So that investment, sorry, we can still make it. Okay, it's not big. It's not that we can't make it, but we need to be serious. We need to talk about the right stuff. You can't expect to find entrepreneurs when you don't have textbooks at school. And then how are you going to see these children going to pass and be entrepreneurs in future? You have to give them books. I'm not talking about the top class room with aircon, but give them books, but give them a good teacher also, and assemble the top ones. Then there's no chance that you cannot produce entrepreneurs. So it is like that. And by the way, at the youth program, at grade R, grade 0, grade 1, grade 2, get the right curriculum. At the moment in South Africa, we have a curriculum of grade 3 in grade 1, in grade 0. And that is the product that we're going to have at the end of the time because they've studied the wrong things. Children are children, they'll consume anything that you give them. Okay? So I see with my programs now, I look, and my son is 12 years. I'm using him as a guinea pig to say, let me see what has happened. I see so much that he has gone through that I said, this is wrong for football. But what am I going to do? He's going to go through that. He's going to consume that. So I think also it might be a 60%, 50% pass rate. He'll never play for Man United. Not because it's not good, but who trains him every day? Who? How? How he trains him? When he trains, I was watching the program of my son's team. How the mesocycles, the building towards the mesh. I said, why is the coach training on this day, not on this day? What is? But I'm a parent, so I have to stay away. And it's sad. I see my son is consuming the wrong things, and I know what he must consume. So probably to move him out and leave him in Europe. Maybe that's the best thing.
Okay, let's move on quickly. Rob Dalport, we're up next.
Hi, Coach. Hope you're well.
Good to see you, man.
Good to see you too, Coach. Coach, I just wanted to ask about the past 3 years in this international fold. What's the engagement been like with other coaches? And you mentioned also being involved with the license courses. Has that been also interesting, meeting coaches from around the world?
You meet the world. I always use the word you have to jump, you have to move. Could have been easy for me to sit on my laurels, sit in my comfort zone. Oh, okay, we win the league, Sundowns. Oh, okay, we can go to the final or semi-final of Champions League. Oh, okay, we'll wrap up the top 8. Oh, okay. What now? I mean, can't be doing that for the rest of my life. It's not a situation of Alex Ferguson who has conquered the English Premier League for 20 years and gone to Europe and won 2 or 3 trophies in Europe. It's the ultimate. There's nothing bigger than that. So here, there's more to do for me. Move to the Gulf. I'm moving to the Gulf. In fact, not the Gulf. Middle East, even Egypt. You get to meet coaches. Unbelievable. We got to meet Hans Flick and have tea and coffee with him. Where would I find him? We got to meet and sit with Thomas Tuchel. Where am I going to get that chance? You got to have lunch or breakfast for 1.5 hours with Arsene Wenger. Where am I going to get that? You get to get some whispers. I don't need to say much from. Okay, let me not go for more. Let me not mention those names, other names. But anyway, this is what you are subjected to. You see players, you see top high level, you see Andres Iniesta. You talk with Andres Iniesta, and he says, "Oh, you coach." Who am I to be talking to Andres Iniesta about football? And Andres Iniesta calls me coach. Oh, your team is very good. Your team is structured and good work. It's unbelievable. So look, I can't regret for leaving. Sorry.
Okay, Bali, Mark, I noted your hand, but we have to give the others a chance first before we go back to you.
Hi, Coach. Can I please just keep my video on? Off, I mean.
Okay. It's fine, don't worry. But you have a beautiful face here appearing here on the screen.
Thank you, Coach. Coach, on a lighter note from my side, you one coach that we know is highly successful. And I think one of the things I've always been interested in is knowing the daily routines and habits of what makes people so successful. We know about the athletes, your Tiger Woods, your Ronaldos, your Kobe Bryants, but for you, Coach Pitso Mosimane, who's done so much as a coach. You've been so successful, and we don't doubt that you're still gonna be even more successful. Can you let us in on what are some of those daily habits and routines that you decided that you're gonna embark on to make you a successful coach, be it maybe studying far more hours than other coaches? There's such certain things that you do that have really set you apart as a coach. Maybe can you just let us in on what has truly made you so successful and some of the habits you have decided to take on over the years that have led you to where you are today? Thank you. I hope my question makes sense.
No, it makes sense. It's a good question. I believe in a way of doing things which is preparation. Preparation is it leads everything. Don't undermine preparation. But you have to be consistent on it every day, every time. The principles of the discipline around that will always help you to achieve what you want to do. And you have to have a format. You have to. When I'm talking about preparation, it's all those things that we now everybody talks about. Sometimes here people say we go back to the drawing board. Some people decorate it with nice, beautiful words. I don't have those beautiful words. They put so many things and it sounds so nice. But all that it is look at yourself at school. You want to pass? If you spend 1 hour with your books, you're gonna get a pass rate that fits for 1 hour. You can't prepare for 1 hour and then you want to get the marks and the results of somebody who said for 4 hours. That guy who said studied for 4 hours is more likely to pass, get better marks than you. So it's a principle, it's discipline, and it's all leadership within the team. Leadership management in the team, and to have assembled leaders, and you have to assemble players who buy into the vision, and players who wants to deliver, and players who looks after the dressing room. I never had the best players at Sundowns, we can say, but we had the culture of winning culture. It remains there and is still there. We all play to win. I hate losing. You know how I felt when I was losing in all my press match interviews after losing. So that's how much I hate losing. So I had players, I had leaders, I had a dressing room wrapped up. I had players that you ask yourself, what is he doing on the pitch? He can never even pass a 50-meter ball. Mabunda can't pass a 50-meter ball. But Champions League, World Cup, CAF Super Cup, leagues and trophies with a player like Mabunda because he is the leader of the dressing room. Mabunda used to come to me. I remember we were in the bubble the last year I left. We lost to Cape Town City. They beat us convincingly. And I said, the league is gone now. Because I remember we were competing with KS Chiefs and we were 11 points behind and all that. Mabunda said, coach, no stress, we'll win the league. You can ask him. I said, what? He says, I said, Sugar, did you see our performance today? Is that how you win the league? He says, coach, we'll win the league. We won the league. He came, he knocked on my door, he had the trophy. He said, what did I say? So it's not about the talent. It's beyond talent. When talent matches another talent, then the mentality takes over the behavior. But where do you get the behavior? Every day in your life, you live your according to the principles, the disciplined way. You need to train, and you need to train when nobody's watching, and that must be your life. You must live up to that. Then that's when you find that Michael Jordan says, oh, many of my players were more talented than me. I was never talented that much, but because he worked so hard, look what he did. Listen to Kobe Bryant speaking. May his soul rest in peace. What do you think LeBron is still at 39 is still the world best players? Because those guys are monsters. You see, the talent is more than the talent. So when you have assembled teams like that, players like that, who buy the vision, who lives according to that, and then you have a management that supports. And also, you must be a good coach, to be honest. You can't have that, then you are not a good coach. So all those things have to come up together. But all, if I have to ask you, is about leadership and preparation. I think those two are they lead the path to be successful.
Okay, guys. Sorry, we have to cut it short. This is the last question. But everybody else who does have questions that hasn't been answered, can you please send me the questions on WhatsApp? And Lentle says that we can email it and we'll receive the answers when coach has time. But yeah, this is a question that was sent earlier. Somebody couldn't log into their Zoom account with issues. They asked from Pendulo Sitole, having worked with Coach Kevin Johnson before at Al Ahly and attaining Champions League glory together, do you think Kevin came at the right time to Chiefs? And what are some of his hidden qualities that can help him strive at Amakosi?
I think it's an unfair question or comment about Coach Kevin Johnson, because Coach Kevin Johnson is the head of youth at Kaizer Chiefs. He's just filling in there. And we all know he's filling in, and I think he said it also himself. So we can't talk about his role as the senior coach when he is at the youth, because probably that's what he wants. So I'm not sure. Can't answer on his behalf. I think you need to ask him after he's worked with me and got all that. Does he think what he has earned at Al Ahly with us playing Bayern, playing Palmeiras, and all those teams, is it good enough to make him succeed? Okay. All I know is that the coaches I work with Sundowns are smart. They've learned and they've kept the principles. Of course, they've added a little bit of spice, which is good, and I like to see the spice. It's beautiful. You know, there's a Mercedes Benz that with space lifts and all those things, and beautiful. Why not? But it's still a Mercedes Benz. Remember, somebody must be in the Mercedes Benz.
Okay, you need to go. Can we sneak the last one in? Another one? Can you hear me, coach?
Yes, and listen.
I said, do you need to go right now? Can we sneak one last one in?
Okay, put the last one. Okay, no problem.
Okay.
The boss is here next to me. She just came. Sneak the last one.
Okay.
As long as they're not long questions, you know, maybe one or two.
Okay, Veli and Neo then. Can you keep it very brief?
Okay, Coach. Yeah, just very brief. In fact, I want to go back to a question you had answered previously. You have also been clear about maybe getting a chance to take a team to the World Cup, and looking at the current system or the methods, the qualification system in Africa. Do you fancy your chance? Because I also want to be specific on the Nigerian link that is refusing to go away.
Well, that's a serious case about our federations where a coach is employed by the in Africa, besides South Africa, a coach is employed by the Ministry of Sport, and they are the ones who pay for the coach, so they can employ him. And then the federation doesn't have money to pay. I mean, the Nigerian Federation doesn't have money to pay those people for those coaches. And I think maybe 99% of countries in Africa, and maybe the SAFA must change the model maybe. 99% of those coaches are paid by the government, so it's not a problem, you know. So I remember speaking to the coach who was coaching Saudi, the coach who won the Champions League with Zambia, the Cup of Nations. What's the name? Averenat, good guy, you know, top guy. We text him, talk. He says, Coach, why you don't go to South Africa? I mean, the country has got mines, diamonds, and everything. So the budget of sports should be able to pay you to coach the team. So I'm talking about now the situation of club, of federation, and the government. And the guy says, I said, but you must go coach Bafang. I think you'll do well for our country. He says, Coach, I don't think they are not serious. One of my agents told me that the money that they want to pay is like club football at Division 2 in France or whatever. You know, he says, your country is successful. You have everything. Look at your country. Look at the airport when we land there. So you don't have budget. They say, Coach, they must pay me to coach South Africa. You know. But anyway, coming back to that story, yeah, President. Yeah, one thing that, to be honest, I would still say I would want to win is the Cup of Nations, maybe. Or go to the World Cup with the team, because I speak to Cisse, Aloui, brother, I speak to Walid. Walid SMS me now when I left. He says, but how are you living? And all that. He says, Coach, come. In the World Cup, we need to see you in the World Cup. You, me, Aloui, Cisse, and all this. The African boys should be in the World Cup. And we have more spaces now. We have 9 spaces in the next World Cup. There's no way that you can never be part of. I said, well, we'll see, because to be honest, I still want to do national team. As we say, I don't choose what comes, but if you say, am I interested? I'm highly interested. I would like to go to the World Cup and lead a team in the World Cup. I think Africa has 9 places, guys. Really? We will all qualify. I think South Africa will qualify. Also, Nigeria wants to qualify. But if you have Chikwueze and the boy playing for Napoli as your striker, and I mean, really, the Nigerian team is unbelievable. I saw the draw against the Soto, they drew against Zimbabwe. Okay, it's football, it happens. But I'm just saying, how can this politics between the government and the Football Federation really derail? I hope, okay, I want South Africa to qualify first in my heart because I'm South African. But in reality, I think Nigeria has the team. But football is not about what's on paper. Football is about what you do. And Burkina Faso can give you a surprise also. But I see them also huffing and puffing somewhere. So it's an open group as well. But the others, it's a given. But I would like to go to national teams. Why not? But it must be a good team that we can compete in the World Cup and not embarrass ourselves.
Okay, so just to clarify, Coach, you are interested in the Nigeria job if it was offered to you.
Are you asking me or you're leading?
I'm listening to the way you waxing lyrical about the mighty Super Eagles.
What about Mali?
I'm listening how you were waxing lyrical about the Super Eagles. So
no, but he asked about the situation.
Yeah.
In America. What about the Black Stars? I mean, really?
Yeah, it's a good point. Now, quick question, quick answer, Coach, and then we're done.
Yes. On what?
Good morning, Coach. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. Yeah, thank you,
Coach.
Coach.
You got the last question. So the most important, penalties, they leave it to the last top player.
Yes, Coach. Coach, my question is basically what you've just talked about now, that you would love to see Bafana qualify for the World Cup. And this question just goes to next year, the Africa Cup of Nations. Bafana are back again in the AFCON. And it seems like Coach Hugo Bruce has seemed to find the, one you could say the rhythm of the players. And it seems like things might be going well for them. How do you see Bafana doing at this upcoming African Cup of Nations, considering their group as well? It's Mali, it's Tunisia, as well as Namibia. Do you fancy them going all the way to the knockout stages of the tournament?
No, I can't ask. It's unfair for me to speak about it. Coach Hugo Bruce will be very disappointed with me if I say that, but he has done very good job. To be honest, for me also, he has surprised me with some few players he found and he has achieved. Okay, we can talk about all the things. Sometimes we don't like how he has Nico Mobi all the time. He doesn't put him in the frying pan. We can talk about it. But we have to also credit him. He qualified for the Cup of Nations. Okay, it has been extended. It's not like when we were there. It has been extended. You have more chance. I mean, this Cup of Nations, everybody qualifies. Let's be honest, guys. And we have done that. You know, I'm not saying it's easier, but it's more. The route is not that difficult, and he made sure that we qualify. Congratulations to that. And we have good teams. We have younger ones and all that. So, yeah, I'm excited. If I'm unemployed the way I am now, I'm going to Cote d'Ivoire to watch the Cup of Nations.
Sorry, everybody. Unfortunately, we have to cut. Thank you, everybody, for coming. From our side, I would just like to say there's a lot of opportunities for interviews coming up. There's a lot of PMSS news coming out in terms of our partnership with Curo. So if you could just hang tight for us, there's a lot of interview requests. We will try on as much as we can. But there's a lot of news coming out, so if you can just hang tight with us. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Coach, for
The boss has spoken, guys.
Thank you very much, Coach, for making yourself available. We really appreciate it.
Thank you. No, I'm humble. Thanks for having me, guys. I've missed you also.
Sure, Ralaboha, Coach.
I tell her,
Yes, Coach.
yeah, I can hear the voice. I missed you guys. Thank you.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you, Coach.
Cheers, Coach. Thank you.
Cheers, guys.
Thank you, Coach.